Hi, my name is Brian Connors. I'm a alumni, as they say, of Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. I worked as a flight instructor at Riddle for 2.5 years after I graduated. And as young eagles, people from Riddle Aeronautical University, as newborn eagles, fly high in the sky and with an eagle eye see all that they can see from that altitude, and nobody can touch them and nobody can stop them. There's nothing that can hide from the piercing eye of an eagle. And it's true not only when we're in aircraft looking on the earth below, but it's also true when we're standing. With the education that we get when we're standing on the earth with our own two God-given feet and moving about, with the education that we receive at the university, we have eagle eyes. We can see all that there is to see, and nobody can really do anything to stop us, because we're worthy of that privilege. We're smart. We understand what's going on. We can get into situations and out of situations using our common sense and education and find out what's going on. Naturally, we just do it naturally. As a newborn eagle does see everything from the heights that he is now able to fly to once he learns to fly. So when I had done all that flight instruction and filled up my logbook, I went to St. Augustine, Florida, where my soulmate was, who I had met online, actually. It turned out she was my soulmate, though, and was in St. Augustine, Florida. So I went down there, and I found out that as a newborn eagle, there's a lot to see for a newborn eagle. And she told me that she was sexually abused as a child. She told me when we were up north, because she was too afraid to say anything about it to anybody down south where her abuser was, and apparently others who had threatened her. She told me about it, and I tried to deal with it using all of the applied knowledge that I had developed as a newborn eagle from Riddle. And I even investigated the situation. I talked to him directly. I stayed clear of it, involvement with him, but I did interview him and found out that he was trying to tell me how he had taken showers with his kids and that he was allowed to do that. By the way, this is her stepdad, and he was very threatening, very loud. He was very abusive, and he told me that he had taken showers with his kids, and that was okay. And she told me what he had done, which wasn't okay. Okay, well, that's fine, nobody wants to know all the details of such a horrible thing. The point is that it traumatizes the victim horribly, and anybody who's ever been through school knows that a victim of abuse is highly traumatized, and if you're disclosed such abuse, if such abuse is disclosed to you, you should do everything you can about it. So I did. I asked her about it. I said, why didn't you tell the police about this? And I asked her, did you tell the police about this? And she said, the police don't care. Nobody cares. She had become pregnant and had gone to the Alpha Omega Miracle Center in St. Augustine. And when it was Child Abuse Awareness Month, I picked up a t-shirt from a booth. I think it was actually from the Betty Griffin house, and wore it on the street corner. I decided to finally try and address this problem because it had gone too far. And you guys need to hear this, young eagles. And know that if you pray about this, God will do something and you'll see it happen. And then you'll know what it's like to fly in the sun. I love Jesus, and I wore the Alpha Omega or Betty Griffin house t-shirt which said "No excuse for abuse" on it, on the corner of on the pedestrian crossing island on the corner of US 1 and 312 in St. Augustine, Florida. And a policeman came up to me, stood next to me for a while with a big smile on his face after asking me what I was doing there, and I replied, protesting. And he asked me if there's anybody else protesting with me. I said no. He said, what, are they over there across the street? I said no. I told him there was nobody else. When he knew that, he stood there quietly with a big smile on his face for a while, and then 20 seconds maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and they threatened to throw me off of the 312 bridge, and one of them said, "Welcome to the South," repeatedly, while they were, in order to scare me, I guess. I don't know what they were thinking. Obviously, who knows what people like that are thinking. But that's what they did to me, all because I was trying to address child abuse in St. Augustine. They apparently, they said welcome to the South. I guess somebody said something about how Whitey asked me if I think this is a problem in St. Augustine. And I said, well, it's a problem everywhere. And he said, yeah. So I thought that was okay. I thought everything was okay, but no, they committed perjury and threatened to throw me off of a bridge. It scared the life out of me. They threatened to kill me. The guy, he did like some psychological thing to take me down from my height, and by saying, I guess that when he was repeating, he said, "Welcome to the South," and then he would pause and turn and talk to the other guys and turn back and look at me and say, "Welcome to the South." And I didn't understand what he meant. And I guess he figured I didn't understand what he meant, so he turned around a third time after a while and said, "Oh, did I forget to tell you?" And then he paused and said, "Welcome to the South." And then they arrested me, and then I knew something was up because I hadn't committed any crimes. And they put me in handcuffs and then turned my body and pointed my head directly at this bridge. They had wrongly handcuffed me, and they wanted me to know that they were going to wrongly do something to me on that bridge. It was scary because my body would have been washed out by the ocean current that comes underneath that bridge on a stormy day like it was. There was a kind of a storm in the area, and the waves were high, and my body would have been sucked right out in the water. Nobody would have ever found it. Nobody would have known what happened to me. I'd also seen the swamps in the area, and I was worried that they could dispose of me that way if they chose to. It's very horrible. They're members of the police force. That's why this sexual abuse victim did not get any justice. She had told me previously, she said the police don't care, and when I tried to address the problem with the abuser himself, she got really scared. She shoved me out in the dark down the street and said, "Do you know what they're going to do to you?" And she glanced over at a swampy area when she said that, and I didn't understand that at the time either. But later, when they did what they did to me later on, then I understood why what she was thinking when she said, "Do you know what they're going to do to you?" She was very worried, very scared. And she still doesn't have justice. So please help. Please help. Please pray. That will make things happen. Prayer works. Trust me. If you don't know that, you can trust me. A flight instructor from Riddle, I'm not going to lie to you. If you pray and believe, God will intervene and do something about all of these victims. In St. Augustine, pray and believe, God will intervene and do something about all of these victims in St. Augustine and everywhere else who are being victimized not only by abusers, people in the community, but people on the police force. Threatened and living in fear. They need our presence. They need us to fly. Please, please help and pray. They're threatening people. By and be there and observe. They need us to be observers and to pray.